of the church. Well, I was able to give Trey a few hints about how to present his project and just to fine-tune his presentation. But at the same time, I had a quiet word with some of the trustees. And I said, look, this young man is coming with this great project. You will say yes. And of course they did. So then the construction, Trey, all on his own without help from me, secured the funding for the materials and got the other scouts involved. And I was not able to be there on the day of construction, but I came at the very end of that day. There was a bunch of tired and happy boys. And I was so tempted to say, oh, Trey, I actually needed it 2 feet that way. But I didn't. So it is extremely well constructed. The garden is over quite near where the prayer trail is that Chuck was referring to, just east of here. And I encourage you, the sun's out, after this, have a look at the garden, have a look at this wonderful pergola. Our idea is that in the future, that we will have roses and other vines growing up over the pergola to shade it. But you can see, I think, that we've already put a picnic table under the pergola, and it's already become the center of the garden. And so, on behalf of all those involved with the garden, I really want to thank Trey. He's done a fine job and a fine young man. Thanks.
I would now like to ask Don Merchant to come to the front from the Willow Creek Cemetery Association to take a moment to talk about Christian's project.
I got notes so I don't forget anything, okay? In 1886, the Willow Creek Baptist Church, which was organized and was started in a small school approximately around the area of 249 in Willow Creek. In 1871, it grew so large in number and quantity, and God blessed it, that they decided to build a bigger building. Now, that building turned out to be on Airline Road, about 2 acres, just north of Willow Creek, on what is now 2920. It turns out that that is now the site of Willow Creek Cemetery. In 1925, due to, and I would guess, transportation skills and the road improvement, the membership dwindled to the point that they decided that they could no longer meet there, and ultimately became a part of the First Baptist Church, Tomball. That meant the building and the people moved. And what was left behind was a cemetery. People and churches can move, but graves cannot. The Willow Creek Cemetery meets a need today as well as it met a need in years past. There are people buried there that perhaps you know, and certainly Christian has family there. He and his dad approached me at one point and said, what can we do? We had quite a bit of discussion, various things that could be done. Certainly some were more prohibited because there's no electricity and no water there. But we came up with the idea of something called paint. That project turned out to be a painting project. We have an entry primary gate. It has the name of the cemetery over the top of it. We have a pavilion in the back side of it that has posts on it. Christian provided for me a plan. That plan dealt with materials, dealt with personnel, dealt with the color. We could do this color, that color, and the simple answer was, let's keep it the original, because when it rusts away in another 5 years, nobody will know the difference anyway. So the other problem, however, was that the gate posts are made out of limestone, and brown and limestone don't mix very well, so we discussed the idea of covering and protection on that. The other primary concern on my part was safety, of course, and and he explained to me that he would have some help there, and Dad would provide some expertise along with that, which they did very well. The plan was agreed upon, the plan was executed, the plan was reviewed after completion. I inspected the job. The paint was bright and brown, exactly like it was supposed to be, covering all the areas, and no rocks were painted extra. But what we got pleasantly surprised about, and you can see in pictures if they've gotten to it yet, there were 2 rose bushes planted in front of it. Totally unexpected, but sure did add a very nice touch to the cemetery. Christian and his team worked very well. He successfully completed his project. The plan was executed with determination and completion. And it was a pleasant surprise to walk out there and see the work that had been done. He provided something that the cemetery needed. Maintenance, certainly, but can't spit it out. It provided appearance. It certainly improved our cemetery quite a bit. We look forward, the Willow Creek Cemetery Association looks forward to any future scout projects that your troop may choose to endeavor. There's always something to do. Thank you, Christian. Thank you for your team. And thank you for your troop.
So what I'd like to do now is I'd like to take a minute to talk about and reflect upon the achievement that is Eagle Scout. So as we all know, the Eagle, bald eagle represents a lot of things to our country. It represents freedom, it represents our willingness to fight for what we believe in, it represents loyalty, it represents strength, represents leadership. The Eagle Scout represents all these things too. The Eagle Scout achievement is just that, it's an achievement. It's not a rank that you can earn, even though we call it that. You can't fill a set of requirements to become an Eagle Scout. You can't just fill out a form, send it away, and then boom, all of a sudden you're an Eagle Scout. It's something that you have to earn. It's something that you have to work for. It's something that you have to believe you deserve and show that you are willing and deserving of that honor. And to become an Eagle Scout is quite an adventure. It's quite a task. I know when I went through mine, I had a lot of trouble. It takes a lot of determination, and you've got to believe in your heart that it is the right thing to do, and that what you are doing is the best thing that you could be doing. And so these 4 young men, on their journey in Scouts, I got to kind of see them grow up. I saw them as they joined the troop, when they were all about this tall. And now, they're some of them are taller than me, so it's been quite an interesting experience for me. But most of all, I've seen their personal development as they've grown up as Eagle Scouts. I've seen them come in, and from the very start, I knew this is the next generation for us. This was the next generation of leaders. Because each of them, even at the age of 11, 12, they would be taking charge of situations and leading the troop in activities. And that's really what the Eagle Scout Award represents. It represents community service, dedication to community, the troop, their family, and it represents leadership. Most of all, leadership. That is what Boy Scouts of America tries to do. Is it tries to build, powerful, ethical men who will go on to become great leaders. And so for me, I know absolutely that these 4 young men, whatever they choose to do in their lives, I know that they're going to be excellent leaders in everything they do. They're going to lead their peers with honor and respect, and they will do the best that they can do. And in turn, I think that they're going to bring a lot of great things to their community and this country. And so I just want to say, thank you guys so much for going down the path you did. You are absolutely a testament not only to me and to the other Scouts, but to people in general, and how to live their lives to be ethical human beings. So I just want to say, can we please give these 4 Eagle Scouts a round of applause? And now I'd like to ask Thomas Servin, Eagle Scout, to the front, and he will recite the Eagle Scout badge.
The Eagle Scout badge, adapted by a similar poem by Jasper Kingley. Two fond parents watch their son where he stands, apart from his buddies tonight, and see placed on his camp-stained, almost outgrown shirt a badge, an eagle, an ancient emblem of might. It seems just a few short months have passed since he joined with the youngster next door. How proud they were then of his tenderfoot badge, as he told them the camp stories of lore. The years have gone by as he struggled along to learn what scouting is about. Scouting is outing when he has been wet and muddy and lonely and cold, far from home, on a trail climbing higher, discouraged, full of dismay and doubt. More than once, he was hungry and dirty, tired and slow. Scared about cooking, rafting, hiking, rappelling and bleeding, embarrassed sometimes by his uniform, insignia, and more. But he's gone a long way by his will and his parents' pleading. He can manage a knife, a rope, a tent with its fly, nasty weather. He can sleep on the ground, bake a Dutch oven cake, drink boiled muddy water, a dress that juvenile grew to leave no trace, stand tall, light a fire, manage an Eagle Project crew, thanks to his mother and father. Daily, he practiced the slogan, the motto, the oath, and the law. He grew fast, straight as a pine, never quit, stayed the course he set out. He learned how to backpack and camp, cook, scrub up a pot, handle an axe, teach knots and first aid, to now, he's an Eagle Scout. You may smile in your worldly wisdom at this and say why it's only a pin, but I will tell you, no honor he will gain as a man will mean nearly as much to him. The red, white, and blue of his ribbon you see are America's symbols of courage and honor and truth. In his family, in his church, his school, and his troop, he learned how to value these fine attributes in these glorious days of his youth. The broad span of the tiny eagle that rests on the chest of this young man today are powerful wings which will lift him high above petty deeds and carry along the right way. This badge is more than a pin, a ribbon of cloth with a silver design. It, like the man, is forged out of values that last. Decades away, the scout who now stands with his new Eagle Medal will still cherish this moment long after his youth is young past.
Eagle Scout candidates, please rise. I would like to call upon Scoutmaster and Eagle Scout Jim Kay to give Eagle Scout charge to these scouts.
I will now give the Eagle charge to these candidates. The Eagle Charge. Since 1910, Scouting has seen countless millions of young men in its ranks, and those individuals could say with pride, I was a Boy Scout. Almost 1.5 million of these young men have attained the rank of Eagle, the ultimate goal in Scouting. Many of these young men have gone on to great careers as doctors, lawyers, astronauts, congressmen, senators, judges, and even the President of the United States. Most will say that they owe many of their successes to what they've learned in the Scouting program. When talking about Scouting, they always say, I am an Eagle Scout. It goes without saying, once an Eagle, always an Eagle. At this time, I would like to ask that all Eagle Scouts present please stand so that they may show their support while Aaron, Kirby, Trey, and Christian accept the Eagle Charge. Candidates, please raise your right hand in the Scout sign and repeat after me. I, please state your name, realize the obligation to my God and country, to my fellow man and to myself. I will at all times do my best to assist other scouts who are climbing the trail to Eagle. to give back more to Scouting than it has given me, to assist my troop as much as possible, and to be a living example of the Scout oath and law to the best of my ability. Thank you, candidates, for accepting this charge. I'd like to thank all the Eagle Scouts for welcoming Aaron, Kirby, Trey, and Christian into the Brotherhood of Eagles. You may now take your seat. Candidates, please rise. It's now my honor to administer the Eagle Oath to these deserving candidates. Scouts, give the Scout sign and repeat after me. I state your name. Reaffirm my allegiance to the three promises of the Scout Oath. I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself the obligations and responsibilities of an Eagle Scout. With the help of God, I will do my best to make my training an example. My influence and my opportunities strongly count for physical fitness, for wholesome character, and for devoted leadership in Scouting and in my community. To this I pledge my sacred honor. By the authority vested in me by the National Court of Honor of the Boy Scouts of America, it is my privilege to pronounce to you Aaron Atkinson, Kirby Hicks, Trey Valenzuela, Christian Wyrick, Eagle Scouts. Please escort the parents of these candidates to the stage. Color guard, please be seated. No bond is stronger than that which exists between a mother and her son. So at this time, I ask the mothers to please pin the Eagle Award upon your son. a symbol of the advice and counsel provided you by your mother as you advanced along the Eagle Trail, I now ask that you pin the eagle pin upon your mother. Scouts, we also have an eagle neckerchief and an eagle slide for you. As a symbol of the fatherly guidance provided as you advanced along the Eagle Trail, I now ask you, Scouts, to present this token to your father. Eagle Scouts, your parents may be seated. And now, if the Eagle Scouts would like to present a mentor pin, they may do so. The Eagle Scouts have each been given a gold mentor pin. And this mentor pin is given to somebody who has had an exceptional impact upon them during their path along Eagle. It's maybe someone in their family, in their troop, or friends. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I can't believe I'm finally here at my Eagle Scout Court of Honor. I have dreamed of always being an Eagle Scout for as long as I can remember. I feel so honored to have earned this award. It took 11 years to get here, but it was an exciting journey. I've made such good friends, met awesome people, and